Okay, so now we're going to look at fractions and how to divide fractions. And here I have an example of 5/8 divided by 1/4. What does that actually mean when we say that? It basically means how many 1/4s fit into the 5/8. So I want to know how many of these can I fit into the 5/8. So I'm going to just draw what 5/8 looks like. So here's my whole divided up into 8s. And I have 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5/8. And then I'm going to draw 1/4. So here I just have 1/4. And I want to know how many of these fit into here. So when I do that, I'm going to just superimpose this 1/4 over top and see how many fit. So here's 1/4. Here's another 1/4. And then I have, if I draw another 1/4 here, I have 1/2 a 1/4. So how many quarters fit? We got 1, 2, and 1/2. So there's 2 1/2 quarters fit into 5/8. Okay, we don't want to draw pictures for every question we do. So we'll find another way to do this. But notice that my number is larger. This number is larger than what I started with, because a 1/4 is small, and then how many fit in there, and I ended up with a larger number. And that happens when you divide with fractions, you get a larger number. So the rule is invert the second fraction, and it has to be the second fraction, and then multiply. If you invert the first fraction, you will get the wrong answer. And I'll just show you how that's done and how we get the same answer from our picture that we did. So if I have 5/8 divided by 1/4, I need to invert this fraction, and that becomes 5/8 times, because now we multiply, 4/1. And then I could cancel that, but I'll just work it out. We'll just multiply across. Now it's just a multiplication problem. And if you watch the multiplication video, you know you just multiply across. So here I get 20/8. It's improper fraction. How many 20s, or how many 8s fit into 20? Well, 2 will give me 16. There's 4 left over out of 8. And 4/8 reduces down to 1/2. So we get the correct answer when we invert the second fraction and multiply. So once you do that, it's just like multiplication, and it's fairly easy to do. So why does this work? Let's look at this division problem with a fraction over a fraction. So this fraction bar here is the same as divide. And now we're going to times this by 1. Here's my big 1. Remember, timesing anything by 1 will not change what you started with. So we'll end up with the same number. So if I look at what I have on the denominator of this big fraction, if I want to make this into 1, I would multiply it by 4 over 1. And if I want this to remain to be 1, I'd have to put the same number on top, which is essentially 4. But I'm writing it as 4 over 1. And then when I multiply across here, I'll get 20. 5 times 4 is 20. And 8 times 1 is 8. And then, if I multiply this, I get 4 over 4, which is 1. So I essentially get 20 over 8 over 1, which equals 20 over 8. So this is why you invert and multiply, and that's why it works, because it's like multiplying by 1. And by multiplying the flipped fraction, you get how many parts are in your denominator, and then how many parts altogether that you have.